Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for another transfer show from Tinderbox at Charing Cross. It's a lovely wee place, get yourself in for a coffee. I'm joined by Declan today. First place to start, Declan, Bolingoli and Mbombo has joined for £3 million from Rapid Vienna on a 4-year deal. How good is it to finally get a left back in?
It's great. We've been needing a bit of strength and depth in that position. Obviously there's been a lot of talk the past couple of weeks about Kieran. Hopefully that'll be put to bed in the coming future. It should be, I still think it'll be a Celtic player going into this season, and it's good that we've got a player that can probably challenge Kieran for the jersey a wee bit more. You know, when Emilio came back, Tierney's jersey probably, you know, it was his position, and Emilio wasn't really ever going to challenge for that. But to bring in somebody and spend a bit of money on somebody, I think is key, and it's something that Niels did that Brendan didn't, is bringing in a guy that on good money that's probably is going to be the backup fullback in that position, and hopefully just try and get the other side covered and we'll be good to go.
Absolutely, I think that was a real weakness of the Rodgers reign, the recruitment. We brought in too many players that they became deadwood. Basically they never made an impact in the first team. So based on what you've seen of Bolingoli and Mbombo so far, probably just the YouTube clips that we've all seen, what kind of player do you think we've got and would you make him?
I think we've got a really good attacking fullback that likes to get up the park. Looks as if he's got a wee eye for goal too, and I think he likes to take on players. He seems to be one that likes to play the ball through the middle, which will suit us, you know, with Odsonne up front, and if Griff comes back into the team, you know, that pass through the middle. So yeah, and I think it'll allow Neil to kind of change the system a bit if he wants to kind of go with that 3-5-2 or play him in a back four. He can be versatile as a leader, a left back or a left wing back.
It'll be interesting to see. That's one of the things I've touched on so far pre-season, the kind of formations Neil Lennon is going to play, if he's going to go with 3 and wing backs or if he's going to keep it with 4, but we'll wait and see with that one. We touched on Tierney there because obviously it's a left back. The questions since Mbombo came in are, he was even getting asked in his own press conference about it. Are you here to replace Tierney? Are you here to just push him? We're still in the dark. There's not been another bid, so all we can do is wait and see. Aye.
I'll just be it, and Kieran, and we'll just see what happens there. But I thought what was coming from Mbombo was really positive. You know, he said he wasn't coming here to be, you know, the replacement. He was coming here and wants to better himself. Hopefully for him in his own career, he can kind of break into that Belgian team and just fit right into that squad nicely for our coming season.
I thought you answered that question very well.
Yeah,
actually, he basically said it's irrelevant what happens with Kieran. Like, I'm here and I'm here to do my bit for the team and win my place in the team, because that's what it's all about. Even if Tierney does stay, he's still going to want to stake his claim and push him, and that competition can only be good for us.
And even added to that and saying that if Kieran's here, that the two will work together and do their best for Celtic, which is what everybody wants.
Absolutely.
And we hopefully do have the two of them. And Johnny Hayes, who I thought, you know, at the tail end of last season under Neil, he came into a really good game. He's probably one of the best crossers of the ball we've got at the club. Can go back into that position, the left hand side, rather than playing a left back, which we all know Johnny Hayes isn't.
You guys can send in your questions on Twitter and on YouTube, so we'll jump over to some of them now. This will bring us on nicely to all of the things we've got to talk about today, Declan. First off, everybody is asking about Tierney. The G-Man on YouTube says, do you think any further spending for us depends on KT leaving? It doesn't look like that, does it? Because we've already spent £10 million, just over £10 million. It is only early July. You wouldn't think that more spending depends on Tierney leaving, would you?
No, I think the way Celtic, what the market is, they'll have had their targets. You know, I know Peter Lawwell's spoke about since Neil came in February that they pinned down the targets then. So I don't really think whether Kieran or as well as that as Olivier and Ntcham is going to really dictate to if there's going to be any more spending. I think Celtic will have their targets in place. They've went out early, and they're not going to hopefully leave themselves short like we did in previous years, but the position we're still a bit worried about is right back. Hopefully that'll be solved very shortly.
Hopefully, yeah, that's something a lot of people have asked about as well. But going back to something you touched on there is Olivier and Ntcham. We've seen some very strange quotes from yesterday, bordering disrespectful, some of them. I don't know if they were lost in translation, but I think they were from L'Equipe in France,
which is a top French
reliable source,
journalist magazine.
He wishes he'd gone to Porto last summer. he thinks that there's players that he has played with here who have went on to big clubs now, who he sees himself at the same level as or better than. He seems flattered, at least to say, by the Marseille interest. So it seems like the writing is on the wall for Ntcham, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And at times last season, apart from the game against Rangers at home where he obviously scored the winner, I mean the game at St Mirren Park, the Wednesday night, he missed the penalty kick. It was wondering about as if he had a cigar in his mouth and he just put a pair of slippers on. It just didn't look interested to me. I know he's a good football player, there's no denial of that, but we've got a good set of players in there, and to me, if he doesn't want to be here and we can get a decent price tag on him and let him go, I just let him go. You know, I don't know whether maybe I've been lost in translation, but if that's what he thinks and feels that Celtic's not the right club for him, you know, he can go in his way.
Aidan Toner is asking on YouTube, how much would you hold out for Ntcham, and is Cifuentes his replacement? We'll come on to Jose Cifuentes from Ecuador just shortly, but you touched on the price tag for Ntcham there. Where do you see that? I think it's said that the club value him about 15 million. I don't think the club will want to keep an unhappy player.
No.
So do you think we will hold out for something like 15 million? Do you think he'll go for a bit less than that?
Well, $4.5 million was a big price tag when he came in for us. He's certainly worth a lot more than that now. I would maybe kind of put him in that 12 to 15 bracket, but as you said, you're not going to want to keep an unhappy player at the club. It's not good for morale around the place. So yeah, I think if a decent enough offer comes in, possibly even hitting the 10 mark, he might be in his way for that. But you know, wherever he will go, he's a good footballer. But if he doesn't want to be at Celtic, then it's a decision made for me, and he can go. Definitely, and we'll move on.
Cifuentes then, I don't know if he's going to be a direct replacement for Ntcham. We'll maybe come on to another player we've been linked with in terms of directly replacing Ntcham, but Cifuentes, by all accounts, a ball-winning midfielder, combative, very highly rated, Ecuadorian wonder kid is the phrase that's been used. £2.5 million. It's meant to be ourselves and Man City that are interested in him. Where do you see that one going? You would think if Man City are genuinely interested, then that'd be a big pull for him, but of course he's going to get a lot more game time if he would come to Celtic.
It said a lot about him as a player, you know, with Man City looking at him. It'll probably be up to him himself, you know, in a bidding war between ourselves and Man City. I think there's only going to be really one winner, but we'll just need to see how that one plays out. But you know, we've got quite a good link with Man City, whether even if they take him, we could maybe see him coming in loan like we've had in the past with Paddy Roberts and etc. coming up here, and Arzani. So we'll just need to wait and see how that plays out. But obviously there's other midfielders there that we're looking at, and Neil seems to think that he needs another midfielder in there if Olivier is to leave the club.
Definitely, talking of midfielders and going through the list of names that have been linked with moves away. Zenit allegedly in for Tom Rogic this week. They're talking about a £9 million bid. Kieran Martin is asking, with Zenit allegedly interested in, by his standards, a very disappointing season last year, should we sell Tom Rogic? What do you think of that?
I don't know. I think for all of us, he's going to have a special place in our heart for that goal in that invincible season, you know. On his game, to me, he's, if not the best player in the league, he's one of the best footballers in the league, you know. And in big games, you can kind of count Rogic to get a goal. I don't know. I think everybody at the club, unfortunately, has got a price tag, and sooner or later, you know, people need to accept that we are a selling club. It's a harsh reality that I don't like to accept, but it's how we work. And if they feel that it's time for him to go, I don't want him to go. I think he's a really good player and he's a good part of our squad. But if Neil Lennon decides that he's not part of the plans, then I would imagine he would move on. But I hope he doesn't, because he's some footballer, and I think he can play a big role in these next 2 seasons.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go. I think he's obviously had a disappointing season last season. He's always kind of underwhelmed in Europe. He's had his fitness problems as well, of course, but he can. We've seen it time and time again domestically with his quality. So he obviously had a tough year last season, both in terms of form, but more so like since he went to the World Cup. He basically played 18 months without a break. So if he can get his fitness back and get to his highest level, then he's definitely one that I think we should keep. Where are we going next here? Plenty more people asking about Ntcham. Paul Hendry on Twitter, do you think Ntcham will be away this window? And also, how many more players do you think we need? Jordan Craig for Twitter as well. Do you think Ntcham will get his move, and who's going to replace him? Coming on then to who we think the club might be looking at to replace him. Romain Sawyers is one from Brentford. Apparently we've had a £1.5 million bid in for. Again, we don't know too much about him, but he is more in the Ntcham mould, it would seem, more of a number 10 who plays further up than maybe Cifuentes would. So do you think that is the kind of player we're looking at to replace Ntcham, or do you think it's just a case of we would just want to add numbers in that position anyway?
I think it would probably be a replacement for Ntcham. It maybe says a lot that we went for a guy that's a captain of a club in the Championship. You know, Mikael Lustig is going to be a big loss to our dressing room, you know, as vice captain. We saw in last season, you know, he lifted the cups with Brown aloft the 3 times, and he's going to be a big character that's missing. Going for a guy that's a captain of another football club, I think would be good for a good kind of squad winner that you would have. Obviously Brown still in there, but a guy that's used to kind of taking command and could maybe play in that role with Brown if you're going to, you know, with McGregor and Christie, whatever they're going to fit in. So we'll just need to wait and see. But supposedly the bids went in, and from what I've heard of it, he's a decent player, and he must be, if he's Brentford's captain, he's been capped 26 times for his country, so just need to kind of wait and see in that one.
I think it's interesting as well. I want to come on to the players that we have gotten rid of so far, but we're being linked to midfielders pretty constantly. Obviously we had the whole David Turnbull saga, so we definitely want to add a midfielder. It is a place in the squad where we do have a lot of depth though, so it would point towards we're losing Ntcham. As I say, I don't expect to lose Rogic, but if the club are really looking to strengthen in there, it would suggest that there is going to be movement in terms of midfielders. We'll wait and see with that. The other one is right back. Obviously, you've touched on it already. It's the one we're all crying out for. Buri Hendry on YouTube is saying, will a right back be brought in before the Champions League qualifiers? I think we've got till 11:30 tonight, so we're running out of time. That does bring us on to, again, a number of players we've been linked to in that position. Jack Stacey from Luton, who it looks like is having a medical with Bournemouth, has asking price, I think, started around the £2-3 million mark. It's more towards 4 and 5 now, and Bournemouth look to have won the race, so he's a goner. The other one is Tommy Smith of Huddersfield. Again this morning, the reports are suggesting that we're getting closer to agreeing a fee with Huddersfield. Do you think that is the right sort of level we should be looking at? He didn't play a great deal of football for Huddersfield last year.
I don't know. He went down with a really poor side last year. Huddersfield were poor. I mean, obviously they're playing at a good level, Premier League, and they stayed in the division for a year. But I don't know. Time would tell. I think in a player like that, but we need a right back, and there's no doubt. I think everybody can see that Anthony Nelson's can't be first choice next season, and especially in Europe. He's not going to cut it, unfortunately, so we need to strengthen that position, and whoever it may be has got a tough job coming in there to replace the legend that was Mikael Lustig, that's no longer our player, so we just need to wait and see in that one, but we definitely need somebody in there.
The other name we've been linked with yesterday, it was again talk that Neil Lennon was going to Stockholm. Matthias Johansson was the name that was getting thrown around, right back, currently at Panathinaikos. Only 3 full international caps for Sweden, which would suggest he's been playing behind Mikael Lustig for a number of years, so I don't know what that says in terms of really improving on the quality in that area. But we've been linked to an array of names, so you would expect some movement right back soon. But to go back to the question, we're not going to get it in time for Tuesday, are we?
No, and it's a wee bit of a worry. I imagine Sarajevo will look to expose that position and try and go down that side, which, I mean, I don't know what system he's going to play on Tuesday, whether he goes to what we've already discussed, that 3, or he goes to the 5. But you're going to really need to look at your centre halves, whoever it may be. I don't know whether Julien's going to be fit to come in and play right away, or whether it's going to stick with Jozo and Chris. We're going to need to look at one of the two to kind of shift over or for Brown to come back deep, because I think that is where I'd be targeting anyway. And it's the same on the left hand side even, you know, which is probably Johnny Hayes. Will play there whether Bolly is going to be fit as well, you know. Again, it's a bit of a worry firing people in right away at the deep end. They might kind of stick with the trusted, but it's two positions that I imagine FK Sarajevo will try and get down.
As we touched on last week, those are the real areas of weakness for us just now, and that's why we're being linked with all these names. That's why we really need to strengthen those positions as soon as possible. Moving on then to outgoings, we're finally getting the clear out that we've been asking for. As I touched on already, going back to Rogers' vein, we've stockpiled so many players who have never made an impact in the squad. We're finally starting to get rid of them. There was a point at the beginning of the window when Peter Lawwell had the quote that we don't need that big a clear out or an overhaul. I thought it wasn't going to happen, but now you can see Comper's gone, Malumbu's gone, we've touched on Lustig who's away, Gamboa, Boyata, Allen, De Vries, and the loan players who were here are obviously all going back to their parent clubs. So that's really important for us to get rid of that deadwood, isn't it?
I think that kind of accumulates to £6 million off the wage bill, you know. Huge. That wage bill towards the tail end of last year was teetering at about £60 million, which is a lot of money. So to get £6 million cleared off that bill annually, I think is great, and it allows wages to be freed up for new guys coming in and maybe some other guys in new contracts. So I think that's really important, and it might bring that squad a wee bit closer. You know, there have been guys in there that obviously not pulling their weight, just kind of strolling about, and get that tight unit together. Guys that want to be there, guys that can make an impact in their squad, and use the money that's freed up to improve. Yeah,
as you touched on there, a few big earners in there, Lustig, Boyata, Izagiri's gone as well, Comper a big earner as well, Marvin Comper. Just quickly on that one, is it the worst signing you've ever seen? It
possibly might be. I mean, Raphael Scheidt was a lot of money famously, as well, you know, it was quite a lot of money. But I'd certainly
Comper though, what was it, 2 million at the time?
1.5, I think.
Right, okay,
but a big wage. And I'd certainly put him in the top 10 worst. But you get a clean sheet, he's only ever appearance, so I mean,
all 83 minutes.
Well, that's it. So fair enough to him, you know, he strolled about and hopefully he enjoyed himself while he was here, so fair play to him. And he's had more trips to Dubai than me in my lifetime. He's got a couple of holidays out so fair play and all the best in Germany for him.
The thing about these players is, kind of pisses me off sometimes, they become like a bit of a giggle, a bit of a laughing stock, but I've been dying to get rid of him because he's just sitting there collecting.
You heard the trophy day, he get the biggest charity everybody, you know, and he did kind of just become the
joke figure.
He became the Twitter favourite, and I'll be interested to see how he actually gets on when he plays football. I mean, he's went to the third tier of German football, which maybe speaks volumes of where he's at, but he's aged, really, to be here, and he's won a lot of trophies, so fair play, big man.
Lastly then, Declan, we touched on left back and right back. You don't expect Bolly, Bolingoli and Mbombo to start on Tuesday, no?
I don't know. I just don't know, because as I said, you know, it's a big risk, and I think Neil Lennon, the team that played the 0-0 game there during the week, I think will kind of be that team that will go out and play Sarajevo, and they'll just stick with the trusted. Maybe see that Mbombo coming in with Julian against Rennes at home to kind of bed them in for the return game, but we'll just need to wait and see. But hopefully we can go to Sarajevo, get a decent result and get us on our way, and hopefully get through this qualification and get back to the Champions League group stages.
Absolutely, that's a good place to end. That's it for this week. We'll be back tomorrow with starting 11 predictions for the game over in Sarajevo. You know what to do, like the video, comment your own thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got more content than ever coming up this season. Thank you.